universe, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. As always, guys, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable. For personal readings, all that information can be found down below in the description. So we have Scorpio. And again, guys, before we get started, these are general readings, so only take whatever applies and leave the rest. There is an energy of hold up. And it's not so much that there's a stagnant energy or something is being put on hold. You're the one, it's almost kind of like you Scorpio, telling somebody like, hold up. Or you're wanting to investigate, or you're wanting to evaluate something before, excuse me, guys. Kids have half days today. Okay. So it's almost kind of like you're telling someone or something in your life to like hold up. Now, the only thing that really I would say, let's put it this way, because I was going to say it really concerns me when it comes to this energy, is that you may allow an opportunity to pass you by, for the simple reason of thinking or calculating or the what ifs, right? So let's put it this way. Maybe you have been applying for a new job or something, but you're also like doing something else. You're trying to start your own business, or you're going to school, and it's almost kind of like you're almost it's almost kind of like you're afraid to bring up that, like, what your schedule is going, like, let's say if you're going to school, it's like, this is the hours that they have, and it's like, instead of asking how flexible they are for somebody that's going to school, you just kind of hold back, but then don't take the offer, instead of speaking up and being very clear. So there is kind of like this energy of like, what do you got to lose is the question, right? What do you have to lose within a situation, right? Whether this is in work, whether this is in your love life, or anything, but there is a sense of you're calculating, or you are, and I want to say calculating because it really looks like that way, like, well, you're making a list of all the things that could go wrong within a situation, within an opportunity, that you're failing to see all the things that could go right and all the things that could work in your favor. So I get that you want to say hold up and evaluate something, but make sure that you are evaluating it clearly, and that you're not going into this evaluation with your mind already made up, right? Because when you do that, you will fall into this energy of only seeing all the things that could, not that are, that could be challenging, instead of all the things that would work in your favor. So it's almost kind of like, and I get it if this is just a way of you, the way that you have gone through in life, or the way that you've lived life, or whatever it is, and trust me, a lot of us have been there, but eventually you have to give yourself that space, that permission to look at opportunities of as what, how, how, when, how is this going to work in my favor? What are the possibilities of all these amazing and beautiful things coming towards me? Right? It always starts with our thoughts, and always starts with our mind, right? And that's kind of like where it is. So yeah, don't, I want to say, don't let it pass by, don't let it pass you by. A lot of you there is an energy of like either feeling like you're really stretched out thin, or feeling like you're doing too much, or feeling like you're overwhelmed. But in reality, it is more of a lack of organization, a lack of structure of some kind. There is an energy of getting easily distracted. It's kind of like there's discipline needed within an area of your life, or maybe within all areas of your life. The discipline is sometimes thought of as a bad thing, depending on what context you're using it or whatever. But when you're trying to achieve certain things in your life, or you're trying to go to school, you're trying to get a better job, or you're trying to save up, or you're trying to do all of these things, there has to be a time frame where the discipline, getting to that point of discipline and commitment outweighs any inspiration and any motivation, right? So a lot of you in the moment, right, when you apply for this job, or when you went after something, you were inspired, you were motivated, but were you actually committed, and were you actually determined and disciplined enough to see something through? And a lot of you are figuring that out. Like, at that moment, like, it sounded great, right? At that moment, it seemed amazing. It sounded like that's what I wanted, but it's too much. It's too much what I have to do. It's too much what I have when I have to show up. It's too much of this. It's too much of that. Well, then, if it's too much, then continue on doing what you're doing, but don't expect any more than what you're receiving. Something seems like too much work, or too much time, or too much energy, because you're sitting there thinking of all the time that is taking away that you normally bullshit around. Whether that's watching TV, whether that's being on your phone, whether that's whatever it is, right? There's time for pleasure and leisure. There's nothing wrong with it. But there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance when it comes to life, regardless of whatever your situation is. And that balance is trying to come in, and it's trying to show you, like, you can do this. Now, that means you may not be able to play video games every week. Or every day. Mean that you're not going to be able to spend 30 minutes, an hour, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening scrolling through meaningless social media things. But discipline, if you start looking at whatever this opportunity is, and being committed and being disciplined in it, I feel that a lot of you are going to see how great of an opportunity this is. But if you're going in with this from the space of like, that's going to be too much work, and I can't, and it's going to be too hard, and this and this and that, then don't even go after it, to be honest with you, because you're going to be extremely disappointed, because you already set the tone that you couldn't do it. You already set the tone that you're going to fail in your mind, and then that's exactly what you're going to end up manifesting. So we have the Tower, we have the Three of Wands, and then we have the King of Wands. So an opportunity is definitely being presented to you. Are you going to take it? Excuse me. Are you going to take it? Or are you going to let it go by? And now I'm losing my voice with you guys, because it's kind of like, this opportunity can come to you in the most beautiful package, in the most beautiful way. And you're still automatically going to all the possibilities of what could go wrong. And that's something that, everybody can give you as many tools as possible. But you're the one that has to show up for yourself, and you're the one that has to give yourself a chance. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a love energy card. We are using the dark mirror deck. Number 18, Naked Before the Stars. Why is it that you have an issue with being seen, or with being vulnerable? And the reason why I say that is because this is an energy that you are giving towards yourself. Like you're always worrying or always expecting the worst. You live in this doom and gloom type of energy. And yes, I know this is not for everyone, but this is like the Scorpios that I'm picking up. So a lot of you avoid certain things because you don't want to go into like that doom and gloom energy. And this energy of thinking that everything is doomed or everything is kind of like meant to work against you. It's like serious. Like I'm literally right now. I want to just freaking shut off the thing and go take a nap because you guys are giving me a freaking headache. Because living like that on a daily basis, first of all, mentally is stressful, and it's tiring emotionally. Like I just want to freaking break down right now and cry because it's like seriously, and physically my body is just like why even keep going? And it's like, okay, be honest with yourself. Is this way of thinking or this way of living beneficial to your life, or is it really keeping you trapped, or is it really keeping you stuck, right? Is it where is it that this started? Can you pinpoint why it is that a lot of you gravitate towards that? And don't tell me that it's just because you're a Scorpio, because I know a lot of Scorpios that are not like that, and I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart. So well, we're not making excuses here, right? And there's a sense here of like, can you pinpoint where that started? And if so, what can be done in looking at the situation from a different perspective, or healing whatever energy are within that space, to kind of start looking at life in a different way, right? And I'm not saying that there aren't any gloomy days, but it's almost kind of like, you know how I always say, like, a lot of people like to focus on the love and light, right? They like to focus on the sunshine, on the pretty and the this. And when it rains or it pours or it thunderstorms, everything kind of gets thrown off balance because they don't know how to be within that energy or within that space. Well, then you guys are the opposite. You guys are always like in that thunderstorm, in that rain, and when the sun comes out, you're trying to hide from it. And it's like, okay, there has to be a balance, right? And one of the most, like, one of the easiest ways that I can explain it is like, just allow yourself to embrace. Well, what does that mean? Well, when it's raining and it's thunderstorming, yes, that is one of my favorite times, right? I embrace it. I don't be like, oh, it's raining, I can't do this, I can't. No, oh, it's raining. That's it, right? If it's sunny, it's like, oh, it's sunny. That's it. If it's snowing, oh, it's snowing. That's it. Like, let it be. It's Mother Nature, right? Why are you complaining about something that you didn't create? And it's kind of like that because it's kind of you guys. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that you are complaining about are things that you have created through your thoughts. So instead of being mad at Mother Nature, because it's raining or because it's snowing or because it's sunny or because it's too hot or because it's too cold, be mad at yourself over the things that you dislike or do not like or want to change in your life, because those are the things that you have actually set into motion. So, needing to be completely honest with yourself as to where it is that you are at and why it is that you are there. Stop blaming other people. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a closing message. We have your commitment is being tested. The first quarter moon. We talked about commitment, right? We talked about discipline. You wanted something, it is being delivered. The opportunity is right there in front of you. Now the question is, are you going to take it, or are you going to go back into that gloom and doom energy that you normally go into? At the end of the day, it is your choice. I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do. I'm just going to, I know I said exactly, right? I am going to try to persuade you, right, to take those risks and to get out of your comfort zone because of what is done personally for me, right? What it has allowed me to experience. But if you're not ready, you're not ready, and that's perfectly fine. Alrighty, guys, that is all I have. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you. Bye bye.